Masari, amongst others. Folorunsho Adegoke TV completes the story.
Tinubu also held separate sessions with Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Melekari, the chairman of the Economic and
we have in the state. The state is always an area where some of that always target Abuja. They think that's where the money is. So they usually come between our border and Kaduna. They come between our border and Kogi, our border with Benue. So we had a few of some of those issues. In fact, a few days ago, we had almost 20-something people who were kidnapped at the main highway coming to Abuja. But God so kind, we were able to get all of them back. And then last week, we got some few expatriates again that were kidnapped at their site, between Garoku and Dari. And again, we were able to get all of them out yesterday. So I'm sure Mr. President got his security report that some of those issues came up. And then
the idea of removal of subsidy, and judicious use of money that will accrue to the Federation account. And we believe that in the long run, the ordinary person will be better off. And I think there are many areas to look at where subsidy should be removed, so that will free the economy, so that resources will be available for development.
Mr. President is working on several steps to bring palliatives on ground so that Nigerians can benefit from it. More than anything, there's a structural approach to make sure that Nigerians have access to cheap fuel in the form of CNG and LPG, and this is work in progress, and I believe that this will be rolled out very soon.
If we intervene in the areas of underdevelopment, definitely oil theft will also reduce. So we, as an interventionist agency, we are not involved in pipeline security. There are people who are doing pipeline security, and the NNPC have also awarded contract for pipeline security and all that. So for us, it's just to support the youth too. And once we support the youth in time to carry out some engagement program for youths and empowerment program for youth, to believe that, yes, the mindset will also shift.
Meanwhile, all engagements were held behind closed doors.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has received the Emir of Katangura, His Royal Highness Alhaji Muhammad Barau Muazu, at the presidential villa in Abuja. The Nigerian leader also welcomed the Emir of Borgu, His Royal Highness Alhaji Muhammad Sani Dantoro, to the State House. Folorunsho Adegoke has details of that story.
Monarchs who were from Niger State said they came to felicitate with Tinubu on his inauguration as president and to discuss some security challenges in their state.
Discuss about the recent issue of insecurity in our area and roads, that's all.
He talked about security challenges, which is also confronting the entire nation. And we believe that he's going to do something. We told him what actually is going on in our areas, and we want him to come to our aid. And he has promised he's going to do his best in terms of this security challenge, even the entire nation, because it's one of the promises he made during the campaign, that the issue of insecurity, by the grace of God, will be.
Recall that President Tinubu holds the title of Jagaban of Borgu, bestowed on him by the late Emir of Borgu, Haliru Dantoro Kitoro III.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the indefinite suspension from office of Abdul Rashid Bawah as the Chairman Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to allow for proper investigation into his conduct while in office. This followed weighty allegations of abuse of office leveled against him. Bawah has been directed to immediately hand over the affairs of his office to the Director of Operations in the Commission, who will oversee the affairs of the office of the Chairman of the Commission, pending the conclusion of the investigation. In the meantime, the Department of State Services has invited Abdul Rashid Bawah to suspend the Chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. A statement signed by the spokesman of the DSS, Dr. Peter Afunaya, says the invitation relates to some investigative activities regarding his handling of the EFCC. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, says it has proposed a wage award to the federal government to cushion the effect of petrol subsidy removal on workers and Nigerians. Joe Ajero, president of the NLC, said this on Wednesday at the ongoing 111th session of the International Labour Conference, ILC, in Geneva, Switzerland. Mr. Ajaero said the proposal was part of the agreement reached with the government during the negotiation on the removal of fuel subsidy. According to him, the agreement NLC had with the government was not minimum wage, stating that the proposal could be implemented immediately without waiting for the statutory period for the minimum wage law or for its expiration. This is Global TV, and you're watching the Midday News coming to you on Star Times Channel 276 from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. You're welcome to follow us across social media platforms at Global TV NG. Most stories coming your way after this break. Be sure to stay with us. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the sealing of the secretariats of 17 local council secretariats of Plateau State. The order follows the suspension of chairmen and councillors of the 17 local councils by the Plateau State House of Assembly in order to pave way for the investigation of the activities of the councils. The Plateau State House of Assembly had on the 1st of June 2023 announced the suspension of the local councils, saying that the suspension followed the inability of the councils to submit records of their income and expenditure for investigation. The newly elected governor of the state, Caleb Mutfwang, had last week sworn in transition committee chairman for the 17 local councils of the state following the suspension of the elected council chairman. The Nigerian Navy has reiterated its commitment to providing policy makers with valuable insights for sustainable management of the nation's waterways. Kikelomoke reports that the Chief of Naval Staff, Awal Gambo, stated this at a news conference organized ahead of the 2023 World Hydrography Day.
Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, represented by the Naval Chief of Policy and Plans, Rear Admiral Seidu Garba, says the briefing was organized to sensitize Nigerians on the importance of World Hydrography Day and the activities outlined to mark the day in Nigeria. According to him, the importance of the hydrography in the sustenance of the maritime sector cannot be overemphasized. Hence, the need to tap into the theme of the year's celebration, hydrography underpinning the digital twin of the ocean for improved knowledge of the sector to provide the needed information for sustainable ocean management and development.
We'll focus on one of the applications of hydrographic data sets towards sustainable management and use of the ocean. This aptly captured in the theme of the day, which is hydrography underpinning the digital twin of the ocean. The digital twin of the ocean is a near real-time and future digital representation of the physical, chemical, biological, and socio-economical dimensions of the ocean to facilitate well-informed decisions for effective ocean governance. As you already know, the ocean is everything to us. It sustains life, provides food, energy, recreation, and jobs for us. Unfortunately, overexploitation, loss of biodiversity and habitats, pollution, marine littering, and climate change, among others, are threatening the sustainable development of the ocean. Policymakers to guarantee the use of the ocean resources in a way that meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
On his part, the hydrographer of the Federation and the Nigerian Navy, Rear Admiral Chukwuemeka Okafor, says works are going on to chart Nigeria's water to open up river creeks and waterways to provide adequate maritime security, as well as boost economic activities around these areas.
7 charts will be unveiled next week during the plenary, linking Ondo State to Lagos. That is Liver Alape from Ilaje to Apapa in Lagos. So that axis has also been unveiled this year, and the chart has been produced already. It will be unveiled during the plenary session of this World Hydrography Day by next week. We are currently in Uguta, surveying Uguta Lake through Orashi River down to the Atlantic, busting out at Sombrero River and New Calabar River. That also, we have gone more than 95%. The survey team will soon round that up, and then the charting team will commence the production of that chart. And so that axis will also be open. Imo State will be able to have access to the sea when that is completed, and Navy will also be able to deploy its capital ships to provide maritime security along that axis.
Plenary session, paper presentation, unveiling of 7 newly produced navigational charts linking Ondo to Lagos State through River Alakpe are the activities lined up for the World Hydrography Day celebration on the 21st of June 2023. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News, Abuja.
In an effort to eradicate incidences of drug abuse and illicit drug trafficking in the country, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) and the Narcotics Control Bureau of India have signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at curbing movement of illicit drugs between Nigeria and India. This was revealed in a statement signed by Director Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi. The Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, who signed the memorandum of understanding on behalf of Nigeria's premier anti-narcotics agency, said the move is an affirmation of the foresight and commitment to the task of ensuring the safety of those citizens and the global community at large. Marwa stressed that the partnership will impact greatly on efforts to prevent illicit trafficking in narcotic drugs, psychotropic substances, precursor chemicals, and related matters between both countries. And that's it for the midday news on Global TV, live from Nigeria's capital in Abuja, One Star Times channel 276. And you can join us across our social media platforms at Global TV. Thank you for watching. I'm Kemi Ashik.